Hello there. Today I'm going to tie a Straggle Cruncher for you. I'm putting in the vise a Hayabusa 761 in size 10, and the tying thread we're going to use today is uni thread in the 6/0. First thing I'm going to do is put a layer of thread down onto the shank of the hook. We'll just take that up to just before the barb. I'm just going to cut away my excess there. Now the cape I'm going to be using for the tail is this one here. I don't know how well you can see it, probably out of focus now, but I'm going to use a little feather for the hackle at the front, and I'm going to use a big feather that I've taken from the top of the cape for my tail. A lot of people like to use the pheasant tail fibres. I find that after a few fish have been at it, that they tend to snap off. So I like to use these fibres. They're nice and soft, and they don't break as readily. So I'm just going to bring that up now, and I'm going to bring my thread back as far as the barb this time. Just tidy up bits and bobs there, and then take away just that bit of waste. Now I'm going to use a fine copper wire here for my rib, so I'll attach that in as well. And the body is just going to be a normal pheasant tail, and I'm going to use 3 or 4 strands of that. Now first thing I'm going to do is just catch that in with a holding turn. I'm going to pull the fibres to as close as I dare. Then I'm going to catch everything in and bring it up the shank of the hook to about 1/4 of an inch from the eye. Next thing then is to bring our pheasant tail fibres around the shank of the hook, and I'm bringing them towards me. I'm lucky in that the pheasant tail fibres were a good length, so I was able just to use my fingers. If you're not so lucky with the length of your pheasant tail fibres, it's well worth using a set of hackle pliers. Just makes life a little bit easier. Now I've done that, I'm going to bring my wire rib round the tail and then up over the body in the opposite direction to the way I brought the pheasant fibres up the shank initially. So quite a lot of room still left at the front. Just going to catch my wire in now, twist away and break that off. Now, as opposed to the normal sort of thorax we would put in, the straggle fritz just adds another dimension to the fly. Stuff I'm using here is orange, and it has some UV flecks through it. Again, with the camera I'm not so sure how well you'll see the straggle fritz UV parts anyway. You can obviously see it's orange. Now I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch from the eye of the hook, and I'm now going to bring my straggle fritz through in touch and turns, and every time I turn I'm just bringing back the fibres a little bit. One more turn there, and then I can catch in my end near the eye. Just a couple of turns to hold it in place, then simply take away. I'm going to lick my thumb and forefinger, drag everything to the rear of the fly, like so. And I've just missed a strand there, so I'm going to catch that in. Now, a good idea at this point is to wax your thread. I've left my wax at home, so I'm going to have to do without today. But if you wax your thread, it just adds a bit more grip to your hackle fibres. As I said, I'm going to use one of the small feathers from the cape I showed you at the start. Now, I don't want to use these big feathers at the back. It's these ones here I'm interested in. There's a nice banding, but it goes from black to brown, and that's what I'm interested in. So I'm going to strip back to there, and then I can take away the excess. Now, as I said, with the wax, once this is caught in, it's really caught in, and it works great usually, but I've been daft, left my wax at home. I'm going to use my hackle pliers just to catch on there. Now, and see what I mean about the wax. So that's snapped off actually, a bit brittle. Just come back a couple of turns. I'm going to try catching it in again. And hopefully this time, excuse my fingers, it will hold in place. Now, with this feather, I want to bring it as close to the end of the eye as I can, and I'm just going to pull everything back with my thumb and forefinger, and I want to catch that little tag in. Now, at this point, sometimes it will snap away, other times it won't. You must keep your thread tight when you pull that away, or you can end up with the whole thing just unravelling. I'm going to wet my thumb and forefinger, a little bit of spittle, drag everything back, and starting from nearest to the eye, I'm going to build myself a nice black head going backwards. Now, I know it's difficult to see here, but what I'm doing is forcing the fibres back to go over like a shroud to the straggle fritz. Just using a couple of half hitches just to tie that in, and then I can trim away. Again, just wet my thumb and forefinger, just want to give you an impression of what it will be like when it's wet. And I'm going to finish off with a little bit of hard as nails just on the head. As always, use a bit of old feather just to clear your eye out, save you a job later. And there's the Straggle Cruncher. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it gave you some ideas. Thanks for watching.